Hi folks, we're back with Paul from Broadmoor, and of course Brendan. So Brendan, it was a fantastic interview that you gave us before, and he's got some more stories today.
It was an excellent interview, and Paul is a worthwhile man to listen to. He's had a lot of life experience from a hard way of life. You know, his health issues have caused that pain for him, but he's come out the other side, and I think
other side, living life.
And I think anyone who could listen to him, and if it helps other people understand who don't get this world, then it may help other people in his position long term as well. So
it's been quite an interesting response from people online. Any of the comments that you picked out that you enjoyed?
I suppose the expert interviewer that's watching me and saying I interrupt too much by asking a question, I do apologise, but it's part of the job that I have to ask the odd question. I'm more than happy.
I've got one.
Yeah.
For the person that says, what am I like am I violent when I've had alcohol? I'm just like everyone else.
Yeah.
No, he's
you haven't had a drink today, have you?
No,
he's actually a big softie when he's had a drink. He's
Yeah.
actually very polite.
Yeah.
Paul is a polite person.
I have a laugh like everyone else.
And has a laugh, right?
Yeah.
And there isn't, like I said, Dave C, a very special person in him. Dave C, a very caring, loving person. That's why Dave was happy to devote time and effort into talking to you, wasn't he, Paul? He used to try and give you good team talks and life coaching. Gave him good advice and supported him in every way he could, and it's because he was worthy of it.
And you're not interrupting him again there, were you?
He's interrupting me.
I was interrupting.
So
we wanted to talk about the most dangerous person that you've been inside with in Broadmoor. Is that right, Brendan?
If I can interrupt there and ask you, who in your view, Paul? I mean, because a lot of the people out here won't know this world. So, as a man who was in it for 10 years, in your view, forget the telly ones and the famous one, who in your view was the most dangerous man you come across?
I would say Peter Bryan. He's high profile and he's never getting out of Broadmoor. He killed while he was in there. When he first got there, he'd already come from Rampton, there's only 3 high securities in the country, Broadmoor, Ashworth and Rampton. And he'd come out from Rampton into the community. I think that's right, I'm not too sure, but he killed while he was in Broadmoor on the admission.
So he's like a real life Hannibal Lecter.
He is a cannibal, yeah. But when the police broke through his door, he killed someone on the floor. He said he'd kill again, and apparently he had part of their brain cooking on the cooker in a frying pan.
Well, that is genuine Hannibal Lecter stuff.
And he's a serious, what I would call dangerous. I would call that man a serious, dangerous man. He was on the intensive care ward, not allowed out to mix with anyone. I used to see Peter was I'd be escorted to the therapy unit, and he was having therapy as well. This is after he'd been in there a couple of years after killing the person on the admissions ward. And then 2 years later, I used to go over to the therapy unit with him. But he come across as a perfect. When he's stable on medication, you won't think that he's schizophrenic cannibal who's killed 3 people in his life, you know. And you say, "How you doing, Paul? You all right? Getting on? Keeping well?" And obviously the answer is, "Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Pete?" Normal conversation with him, and but he's never getting out of there ever. And he'd probably always be on the intensive care.
Did you feel uncomfortable around him?
I've never felt uncomfortable around anyone, but from what I've noticed, what I see in some people ain't there in others. Like danger. They might not be dangerous to me, but you can still sense it and pick it up. And he's the one that I would say, out of them all that I've come across, me personally, I'd say that he is dangerous. He's a dangerous man, dangerous human being.
Did he have any nice qualities? I mean, could you have a laugh with him?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He comes across as when he's stable, he's a funny geezer. He's funny. He's nice to talk to.
Obviously a good cook.
Obviously. No. Obviously a good cook. Yeah.
Did he have any particular meals that you liked?
That I don't know.
Not a bit of kidney.
Yeah.
I think his brains.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nah, but
He like Dover lunged.
but anyway, yeah, that's what I would class as a dangerous man is Peter Bryan. Yeah.
We were last time we spoke to you, Paul. We were going to talk some more about Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah, about the Ripper. Yeah.
And was there an attempt on his life?
Yeah, there's been a few attempts on his life, but one that really stands out to me because the person that he nearly got strangled in one of the side rooms, and at the time, obviously this is before my time, yeah, and you could probably Google it. It might even be on, but I don't know. But Kenny Erskine, the Stockwell Strangler. He's sort of like another high profile one that I've been around as well while working with him in the radio room, in the radio shop where they fix radios. And he went to another patient, we call him just patient for now, yeah? Because I think he's out in the community and I don't want to...
Absolutely.
Yeah? So I'm just saying it as it is.
Yeah.
And he strangled him. He strangled Peter Sutcliffe, and he was strangling him, nearly killing him. And then Kenny Erskine went to the Stockwell Strangler, went to the office and alerted all the staff that Peter Sutcliffe was being strangled. And so, yeah, that happened. And but that, as I say, that was before my time. But getting back to Kenny Erskine, from what I've known of him, I was around him for a couple of years while working in the radio shop. It's where they, like you said, you got broken radio, broken stereo, maybe a broken telly. You take it, you get it sent over there, and you have another patient who might be a bit clued up on stuff.
Could be radio rental as well.
Yeah, it could be radio rental. But he might be a bit sort of like, yeah, I can fix that for him, no problem. And you pay him, say, £5 or something to go into the actual Broadmoor Trust.
Right.
So they can put on parties and barbecues throughout
Which would
the
have
year.
been great for that mate who liked cooking people, wouldn't it? Barbecue. You'd love that. But he was top of the list over that.
Yeah.
Do you ever sort of sit round the table all together, like sort of a group of 4 or 5 of you? Like,
Yeah, there is a few people that obviously I got to know pretty well. The old class at the time, when you're around someone for say nearly 10 years, around 1, 2, maybe 3 people on the same ward, because remember, people go from high dependency to a rehabilitation ward eventually, and then out. So medium security. Whereas with me, I was going back and forward, and then back, and then forward, and then back, and stayed there, and then back to rehab ward, rehabilitation ward. So there's been times that I've, there was one occasion, I saved the solicitor's life.
oh really?
I did, yeah. She was an old lady, a solicitor, and her client, this way I was on Taunton ward, a rehab ward, rehabilitation ward. The people I was mixing with, the old classes with a build-up of bond and a friendship with, they weren't nonces. They might not have been bank robbers or burglars, and they might have been murderers, but they were okay. I wouldn't go for a drink with them out here. Any of them, no matter who it is. But that's just the way I see it. But on this particular occasion, matey, another patient, had just come from the high dependency onto my ward and onto Taunton ward and seeing his solicitor, his own solicitor member. And at the time, they put you in a room, like an interview room, and it's got no windows, and they just close the door but leave it unlocked and then go walking off again because it's a rehabilitation ward, You know, there's more, like you've got your normal cups, like ceramic cups, normal knife and forks, everything that you ain't got on high dependency. And at the time, I heard this big sort of commotion, and I thought, I said to my mate, I said, here, he's doing her in there. I'm telling you, he's fucking doing her in there. And it was one of them situations like, if I go running over there, crack that door open, and they could be standing there laughing or sitting there laughing with each other, yeah? And they'd be saying, what the fuck, what are you doing in that? Why have you done that? Yeah. And it looked like I'm being mental.
Yeah.
Looked like a mental one, wasn't it? Like, yeah? But it wasn't like that. When I opened the door, he was standing over her. She was half up the wall, half down the wall. All her tights. She was like an old lady. What you'd picture in your head as an old lady with the really thick stocking tights. Yeah. The old what's that material? Scottish like dress. Yeah. Dress on. Yeah. Like an old lady.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was half up the wall and blood spattered all up the wall where he'd been smashing around the head with his cut, Brendan. He'd been trying to kill his own solicitor. Wow. And he nearly succeeded, but I managed to crack the door open, and I went in there, what the f*** do you think you're doing? Seriously? Yeah. And I just run at him with my hand like that, and just rammed his head right into the wall. I said, what are you fucking doing? And he said to me, she hit me first. Crazy. Wow.
Did you get
was the lady alright? Was the lady alright?
She got taken to hospital. Yeah. She gave her job up.
Yeah, I bet
and she come back 3 months later. She had her stitches in the top of her head, about 25 stitches, because he was killing her. Yeah. He was actually trying to kill her. I went. I said everything that I see and how it all occurred and that to the police on camera. Actually, like on video camera, just in case it went to court. I'd say, I'd stand up for that lady. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not grassing, I don't see. I see that man was mental, and he was trying to kill an old lady. Yeah. The police interviewed me, and it come back not in the public interest to take him to court. He was already on the Home Office section.
So he was never getting out.
And he weren't getting out for a long, long time, out of high security at least. And all that was going to happen was that he'd go back to the intensive care ward.
Mm-hmm. So did you get thanked for that?
She come back 3 months later on a visit to me. Like they said, Paul, got someone there to see her. And it was the old lady. Mm-hmm. She said to me, thank you for saving my life.
Wow. That is nice that she come back, isn't it?
She gave me she said, I used to sit on the tribunal board. Mm-hmm. She was up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she used to be one of the, like you have a lady.
You couldn't have her,
you have a lady
solicitor after that.
But she said, I'm going to give you this letter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never used the letter.
Yeah.
I didn't take it, like I am now thinking about it. She gave me a letter to say, give this to the judge at your next tribunal. I used to sit on the tribunal panels. In other words, she was well connected with all the tribunals.
Yeah, she was up there.
And she was, as a very well-respected woman. She was a well-respected woman. Yes, she'd been a solicitor for years, like in a private firm, but also working the tribunal circuit as well.
But with the staff, does it not count? That they say, the good behaviour that you do.
After that happened, they bent him up. They took me away, bent him up, took him to the seclusion room. Remember, all the bells are going off, loads of staff on the ward. Yeah, remember I told you on the last podcast, so they all come running. On this occasion, they've all come running, but it weren't like, oh, how you doing, Paul? You all right? Yeah. They were attending to this old lady waiting for an ambulance. And I took it upon myself. I just barged past loads of staff. I mean, I'm big now, but I was heavier then because I was training. I was weight training at the time. And I barged past all the staff straight into the seclusion room where he was being held down. And I've just gone up to him and smacked him a few times in the face. And then as I come out of there, one of the members of staff, because they pulled me off him, they did that, even though he deserved it. They let me get a few punches in, and then they pulled me away, and then one of them pulled me over. He said, what just happened there didn't happen, Paul.
We didn't see it.
We didn't see that. That ain't going to be documented anywhere. Your word against his.
Yeah.
even though there was like about 30 staff
well, it just shows
down
that
one corridor, they knew that I saved that lady's life.
Yeah, and you was right to smack him in the mouth. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.